Hi friends, Splat and I are back with you today for our last number talk. My name is Dawn, and we are so happy to be here. Remember, number talks help us practice solving math problems in our head, and they help us explain our thinking. Today, we are going to practice solving subtraction problems in our head by decomposing or breaking apart numbers before we take them away from the minuend. Remember that subtraction means that we are taking something away, and a minuend is the number we are beginning with in the subtraction problem. We are going to use a chart like this to organize our thinking. We will add math problems to each box and show our thinking on how we solved these problems. Before we get started, you might want to grab some items to help you with explaining your thinking and learning today. You might want to get a stuffed animal or a trusted adult to talk to so you can explain your thinking. And you can always tell Splat. You also might want to get some paper and pencil or a notebook to write down your learnings at the end of our time together. This could be your math journal. We'll wait while you go get anything you need for today. Welcome back. I hope you were able to find everything you need. Subtraction. We hear that word a lot, but do we think about what it means? Let's use a Frayer model to think about it some more. Let's take a piece of paper and fold it in half hamburger style, and then fold it in half again to make 4 equally sized rectangles. Then, in the corner of our paper where all sides are folded, we'll fold down a small triangle. When you unfold your paper, the fold should look like this. Does yours look like mine? Okay, great. We're going to write subtraction in the center diamond because this is the word we need to understand more about. Then, in the upper left rectangle, we're going to define this word or write what subtraction means. So let's write the word definition here. Okay, great. In the upper right rectangle, we're going to provide an example of subtraction, so let's write example here. Then, in the lower left rectangle, we'll provide a non-example, or what subtraction is not, so write non-example here. And finally, in the lower right rectangle, we'll draw a picture to help us visualize what subtraction is. So let's write picture here to remind us of what we're supposed to do. So now let's think about what subtraction means. So if Splat and I are in the North Carolina mountains picking apples, and he took away the apples he picked, that would be subtraction. So then we could say subtraction is when we take away from a group or a number of things. Splat and I are going to give you some time to write this definition in your Frayer model. As we learn more about subtraction in today's lesson, you will be able to add examples, non-examples, and draw a picture to share your growing understanding of subtraction. Let's get started. Here's our first expression, 23 minus 3. I want you to think in your head how you would solve this by taking 3 away from the minuend, which is 23. Will you tell an adult or stuffed animal your answer? I bet you told an adult or stuffed animal that the answer is 20. That's correct. Will you explain your thinking to me about how you solved this in your head? I heard someone say that they knew that 23 was 2 10s and 3 1s. Then they subtracted or took away the 3 1s and that left them with 2 tens, which is also known as 20. That is really awesome thinking. I think we're ready for our next one, and here it is. 23 minus 5. Will you solve this problem in your head? Now tell an adult or stuffed animal what you think the answer is, and Splat will whisper it to me. Splat whispered to me that he thinks the answer is 18. Is that what you said? Oh, that is great thinking. Now, can you tell an adult or stuffed animal how you know the answer is 18? I heard someone say that they know that 2 plus 3 equals 5. So they knew they could subtract 3 from 23 and get 20. Then they still had 2 left to subtract, so they subtracted 2 from 20 and they got 18. That is awesome thinking about decomposing the 5 into 2 and 3 and then subtracting. You're really getting the hang of this. Let's try another one. 25 take away 5. Think in your head about what the answer is. Now, will you tell Splat what you think the answer is? Yes, 20! That's correct. Will you explain your thinking on how you got the answer of 20? I heard someone say that this was like our first problem. Yes, it is. So they knew that 25 was made up of 20 plus 5 ones. They took away or subtracted the 5 ones and were left with 20, which has the same value as 2 tens. Great way to use the equation we already worked hard to solve. All right, friends, Splat and I have a problem for you to solve together. Here it is. 25 take away 7. Will you think about this expression and how you would solve it? Will you tell Splat and me what your answer is? $18! Yes, that's correct. Great job solving that expression. Will you now explain your thinking to Splat and me? What great thinking about how to find the answer to this problem. I'm going to explain our thinking and show it on a number line. We are going to begin with the number 25. Can you think about why we would begin with the number 25? Did you think about that we are starting with 25 and subtracting 7? That's right. Splat and I know that 7 can be decomposed into 5 and 2. So we will subtract 5 from 25, like in the last problem. And then we will get to 20 on our number line. Then we know we have 2 more left to subtract, so we will count back by ones from 20. First, we land on 19, and then we land on 18. That was great job using the number line. Friends, it has been so fun doing mental math and number talks with you. You worked hard to decompose numbers to help you subtract a little easier and in your head. We also showed our thinking by using an open number line. Splat and I have had such a great time learning all about numbers with you and how they can work together to help you solve problems. Before we go, Splat and I would love to hear what you have learned in your own words. I have these sentence starters, and I'm hoping you can finish these sentences with me. They say, today in math, I learned, and I can. So if I were doing this, I might say, today in math, I learned how to subtract numbers using mental math. I can decompose a number into smaller numbers to help me subtract to find the difference. Now it's your turn. Read this with me and finish it by telling an adult or stuffed animal. Today in math, I learned. Now let's read our next sentence starter and you can finish it. I can. That was really great thinking and talking about everything you learned today. Now that you've said your sentences out loud, you can write them on your paper or in your notebook to create a math journal of your learning. Splat and I want to help you finish your Frayer model about subtraction. Let's add to the rectangle that says example. An example of subtraction could be 16 take away 8, because that would show taking away 8 from 16. We'll give you time to add that to your chart. Now, let's think about a non-example, or what subtraction is not. You could write 10 plus 10 as a non-example, since this would be adding two groups of things together. We'll give you some time to add this to your chart. Now that we've done this together, Splat and I challenge you to add a picture of subtraction to your chart in the rectangle that says Picture. We also challenge you to add more examples and non-examples to your chart. All of this will help show your understanding of subtraction, and then you can explain your Frayer model to an adult or stuffed animal out loud. Splat and I must go now. We have loved hearing you explain your thinking about how you solved those problems and hearing what you learned in your own words. That took some really hard thinking, and you all did great.